The banded hip sequence is going to help you build strength all the way around the hip. So I'm going to let Katie go through this whole thing so you can see all 5 of the moves that you're going to be doing. You're going to be doing 5 repetitions of each of these exercises, and you're going to be doing them slowly. And we're going to show you modifications for them at the end, and I'm also going to show you the technique for each of these. This is going to be a little bit of a longer video because there are 5 components to it. So you may want to rewatch it a couple times. All right, so she went through the whole sequence. You're going to be starting off with lateral band walks. And what that looks like, you can have the band around your feet, you can have it around the ankles, you can even have it up above or below the knees. Now, you're going to get a little bit of a hinge at the hips. You're going to be sitting your butt back just slightly, not too much. And then from there, you're going to be stepping out to the side. Now, what can help when you're stepping out to the side is thinking about reaching out to the side with your knee, not your foot. So this is a very common exercise for a lot of people. They've done this many times, but when you start to think about reaching with the outside of your knee versus the foot, it's really going to help you hit your glutes and the outside of your hips a lot more. You're going to do 5 repetitions one way, 5 repetitions the other way. Then we have monster walks, which are the same position. You stay in that little hinge, and then you're going to be walking forward. Again, think about leading with the knees rather than the feet out. And you're trying to keep those knees stacked over the feet in both of these exercises. What that means is not letting the knee collapse inward, not letting it go outside, and keeping it right over the foot. So you're gonna walk forward, walk back. Then you have the banded kickback. This one you might need to use a little bit of balance for. So Katie's gonna hold onto the wall here. You're gonna put the band underneath one foot and then behind the heel on the other foot. You can also have it behind the heel on both feet if that makes it easier for you. You're gonna have a little bit of a hinge here. Now, we wanna maintain a neutral core, so you're gonna keep your pelvis slightly tucked or arched, depending on what your pelvic position is. We wanna prevent movement of the lower back. So all the movement is gonna be coming from the hip joint here. The standing, we don't wanna overextend and kip the weight, which if you are, you may need to get rid of the band or get a lighter band as you're kicking it back. And then you'll switch sides and do the other side. We don't need to show that though. Then you have the lateral raises. You're gonna stand tall for this one. You may need to use a wall for balance again. There you go. You're gonna be lifting the legs straight out to the side as far as you can without tilting your body, without your hips shifting side to side. You keep everything as still as possible as you're raising it out to the side. There's gonna be a little bit of leaning, but just try to prevent excessive leaning. The standing leg is gonna get a lot of work done, and then the outside right here, the TFL muscle, and some of the glute med are gonna get activated a lot. You could even work on turning your foot outward or inward as you're raising it. Lastly, we have a banded march. You're gonna put the band right underneath both feet. You're gonna be lifting the knee as high as you're comfortable with. If you have some sort of hip impingement and the height is too much for you, you can just stop halfway or avoid this component altogether and work on the ones that feel good. You could play with lifting the leg at different angles, so it doesn't have to be just straight. Could be out to the sides. You could work on lifting with a little bit of hip rotation as well, so there's a lot of options there. In general, 5 repetitions of each of these on each side of the body. Feel free to use a wall for balance or a counter or chair the entire time. You're burning. So you're gonna get a lot of burning going on around the hips. It's awesome.